That's our goal, is to inform the public. It's not about making decisions for people. It's not about directing them into whatever my desired pathway might be. It's about just laying out the facts, giving them the resources, letting them make the decisions for themselves. But to make a decision, you need to be informed.
Hey everybody, Sherry Eccles back again with Operation Successful Transition. And today I'm excited to introduce you to a friend of mine. Nicole Gallucci is a co-founder, along with TC Langford, whose camera's not working on her computer today. So she's the one that you can't see her face. But we're grateful to have them here today to talk about Brazos Valley Alliance. This is something that they are co-founders of because they saw a need. Could you guys describe for us what Brazos Valley Alliance is?
Well, a year or two ago, there was just a group of people that wanted to do something more for local residents as far as providing some local information on topics that affect them.
Yeah, here I stem from DFW, and when I moved down here to Brazos Valley and became really active within the community, I quickly realized that there are a lot of do-good organizations and nonprofits, as well as interested community members down here. But the problem seemed to be is that nobody really knew what was going on, who to turn to, or were on top of the information that was being channeled between all of these organizations, as well as, to be quite honest, the local city government. And, that's more on us as residents and citizens than it is on the city government.
Right.
But I felt that there was that gap that needed to be filled. A simple way to do that is to have quarterly town halls where you pick a topic that is obviously affecting everybody locally and maybe even statewide and nationally, and open it up to the community. Let them ask questions.
Sure. Yeah.
Our first
Okay,
one
so
was great with Councilman Yancey and Robert Rose talking about the water crisis before it even made headline news statewide, with the different droughts that were going on and aquifers that were being accessed and inaccessible for that matter.
great. I got the impression from the invite that I got on social media that this was kind of a veteran leaning organization, but this is for everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
It's for
great.
everybody. This particular town hall that is coming up, the health and insurance, excuse me, town hall, that encompasses a large group of people, including veterans, and those who are federal workers, the children on Medicare, and then your retired adult on Medicare. And so, since it encompasses such a large group of people, I did invite a large group of organizations that represent those factions of the community.
Okay, well, interesting. I've got some. I don't know that I'm at liberty to discuss, but there are other populations with Medicaid and in need of health care who are, maybe struggling with some addiction issues or, mental health issues, things like that, who also kind of need some help with our community services. So it'll be good to share information for them as well. It's like, always when you start thinking about the population that you serve, there are always other, facets to it and angles on it. So I think it's great that you're getting out and sharing information in these town halls. And do you record any of these town halls, or share minutes or anything like that out of them, or do you just have to go to it to participate, kind of?
Yes, we recorded the first one. The audio was horrible. I went in there and tried to edit it to the best of my abilities during the aftermath. That was the one that featured Councilman Yancey and Robert Rose. But that one is recorded and available. This will be our third one. The second one I thought did get recorded via FaceTime because it was live streamed. The problem is that my battery on my computer went out, and so that wiped it. This time I'm going to go ahead and set up an external camcorder as a backup in case all of that happens all over again. So it will be recorded.
Do you have microphones for the speakers to put on?
Yes.
We have wireless mics that
Yeah.
a local organization has loaned to us.
Oh, nice. Okay, good. Yeah, I do video a lot and I have all kinds of different microphones and stuff. I know audio is like the most important thing for people to, they won't pay attention to a video if they can't understand what people are saying, right? So the audio is,
Exactly.
And I
Yeah,
will
I can
with
say
offer my
that
microphones.
I will say
Okay,
that
good.
the last few, actually, I think all of them, we did one on hemp, we did one on water, we did one on the parking for students no longer allowed under the occupancy limits. And what we've done is allow the audience to ask questions, and it's almost 2 hours worth of questions, and they've been very
Nice.
well attended. And we're looking forward to this one on, as Nicole said, health and insurance.
Yeah, it's a big topic. And, as a self-employed person, I've seen it's a little better than it was, but it's still not great. You know what I mean? The insurance that's available. And there's a lot of self-employed people in our area. So,
And it's very expensive for self-employed. It's very expensive um, for the working class, especially when the question of will ACA subsidies still exist or not. And we have a private insurance agent. She owns her own company, Margaret Battle. And then we have the CEO of HealthPoint. And then we have Felicia Benford, who is with Brazos Valley Health District. And she's going to bring an entire entourage of experts with her that will be available afterwards or during break to answer questions.
that's interesting. I found out this year, my brokerage that I work with, eXp Realty, has a health share plan that they kind of advertise for us as a way to get into some kind of, it's not really a group policy. It's just another option for us, but they say it's going to save us all kind of money. So last year I did that. This, in 2025, it was terrible. It was hard to get anything approved. And at the end of the year, I found out health share plans are not tax deductible for self-employed people. So I just spent way more money on that than I do on the marketplace insurance, had less coverage, more difficulty, and it's not tax deductible. So that was a big ripoff in my experience.
Yeah, one of those little fine print sneaks that they pull on you, sort of similar to the whole Medicare Advantage thing. It's like, oh, this is a great deal. Well, hold on, read the fine print first.
Yeah, yeah. We need someone out there to share those, share the pros and cons, I guess, and point out do you need a lawyer when you get health insurance, really, to interpret their stuff for
And
you?
that's just it. That's our goal right here with this organization or service or whatever you want to call it. That's our goal is to inform the public. It's not about making decisions for people. It's not about directing them into whatever my desired pathway might be. It's about just laying out the facts, giving them the resources, letting them make the decisions for themselves. But to make a decision, you need to be informed.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think letting people know what's available in our community too, and connecting the the providers with the people. That's part of what I try to do with my veteran podcast is to let the people in the area who these veteran agencies apply to know about each other and to kind of increase the strength of that community. Since we have the largest concentration of veterans without a base here, it's important. We have a lot of people. There's like 40,000 in our Brazos Valley area. So, good for them to know what's available here for them. And I think in the provider kind of community, for them to know each other as well so they can help people out by referring them to different agencies like, oh, I know the person who can help you with that or with that thing, so getting everybody kind of on the same page and sharing in the general care of our community. So,
Yeah, no, over during our hemp town hall, one of our featured panelists was a representative, or is a representative, sorry, I shouldn't have said that in past tense, is a representative of the VFW over there at the post that hosts the foxhole.
yeah,
And he spoke about, I mean, what are the benefits of the hemp industry to veterans and both not just when it came to medicinal purposes and recovery, but also when it came to the income that it was bringing them. I did not realize prior to that town hall how many number one how many hemp related businesses are located here in the Brazos Valley alone, and the percentage of those businesses that are actually owned and run by veterans.
Oh, really? Okay. So is
Yeah.
that like all the CBD type places that you're talking about,
Yeah,
or?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really bad about differentiating when it comes to the terminology of the marijuana, the CBD, the hemp.
Yeah.
To me, it's all one and the same, and I understand
Right.
they all differentiate. But
Well, hemp is another product too. It can be used for, I think, textiles and papers and
Mhm.
building, building materials. And there are so many different applications for hemp as a plant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a professor at the Hemp Town Hall who is an agricultural professor at A&M, and his specialty and his classes are in the production of hemp. And that's exactly what it's used for. It's used in textiles, it's used in rope, literal rope, and it's used in so many areas. And all four of those panelists talked about veterans and elderly who did not want to use opioids. And
Right.
that was their primary customer base. It's not it's not the 19-year-old hippie. It's
Yeah.
older people and veterans who want to avoid opioids.
Right. Yeah.
And I have a question for you, Sherry, about
Yeah.
veterans. I know that veterans receive VA benefits for their health care, but at the same time, I have heard from numerous people that access to those facilities and access to assistance is number one, a long wait list, and two, not always readily available transportation wise. Is there is that true?
To like VA clinics. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, yeah, to in other words, it doesn't do any good to have these VA benefits if you can't access the medical care.
Okay, so I did do an interview with the girl who's the director at Brazos Valley Transit, and there is transportation available. They just have to make the appointment and call Brazos Valley Transit. The bus will come and pick them up and take them to their appointments. They go, all around the Brazos Valley. So maybe this is a case where they're missing this piece of information that could make that useful for them. You know what I mean? So Brazos Valley Transit, and there's the Veteran Express, which is another van that goes and takes veterans to appointments and things like that.
Are there facilities available in the Brazos Valley for veterans?
There's a VA clinic on Rock Prairie Road, but the I think like VA hospitals and that they would have to go to Houston or I think there's in the ooh, don't
I
Corpus
believe my
Christi?
former next door neighbor used to travel
like
either to Waco or Temple
Waco.
for
Yeah,
his.
Waco and Temple. Yeah, Waco, Temple, Houston, kind of around. Like we don't have a base, right? So, but we have a large concentration. And those places are, an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, something like that. So I don't know if that Brazos Transit would take them out there to Temple, but Veteran Express might. So this might be something that we can address and find out for the meeting and share out.
Yeah, if any of the veterans organizations who are aware of this upcoming town hall have any literature on the transportation availability through the partnership with our local service, I think that'd be great if they could bring that.
Okay, yeah, I could think of a couple people that would be good to bring. So, yeah,
Mhm.
Pam Robertson's the VSO for the county, and she's amazing and very connected with all the resources. And then the can't think of her name at this moment because I'm having a senior moment. But I did do an interview with her, the Brazos Transit girl. She's lovely, and they do provide good, lots of good services for the area people. I wasn't aware like how much they actually do with that Brazos Transit. I just see the bus every once in a while, not even on the regular. So.
Well,
Mhm.
That was
even if they
interesting.
aren't a panelist, it would be great if they could attend and they could be introduced to everyone there and what their position is so that people can come up and get information afterwards from them. Because
Right.
we do try to end it about 15 minutes early because people have questions they want to ask directly, not in front of everybody else.
Okay. Yeah, that makes great sense. And, in a question and answer environment, masterminding and sharing information makes perfect sense. So that's not out of place, I think. So tell us about like what's the location of the meeting? What day is it? What time is it? What do you need to bring? Do they need to bring a chair or be ready to stand or how's that? What does it look like to go attend?
Well, it's going to be at Mounts Library in Bryan, um,
Second floor.
second floor. We have the chairs. We've got tables for literature. We do provide light refreshments. We're not serving.
Although potluck is always welcome, so if anybody wants to bring something or bring their grandma's recipe, they're more than
Okay.
welcome to.
And we do have a sign-in sheet if you want information about upcoming town halls, but it's Saturday, January 24th from 10:30 to 12:30.
30. Okay, making notes here so we can be sure and put that on this when we put it out there for everybody. But yeah, okay, this is awesome. I'm excited to come and see it. I know I've been aware of another one or two of these, but for whatever reason, I wasn't able to attend. But I'm going to make it a point to go to this one. I think this is valuable service that y'all are providing.
Oh, thank you, Sherry. I'm glad you're going to hopefully you'll be able to make it, but I'll be happy to see you there if you are.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I want to make a plug for we're having another, we usually don't do them back to back, but we are this time. And there'll be one in February regarding public media, public radio, public TV. What is the future for at least this area?
Because something that I think a lot of people, and I think I know the only reason that I'm more aware of the impacts it's going to have is because of my volunteer commitments to our local community radio station and the experience I've gotten with that. But here in this somewhat semi-isolated college town surrounded by rural land, I think a lot of people don't realize how much of our information and how much of our media we actually get from NPR and PBS that is actually, when it comes to breaking news, when it comes to emergency reports on the spot, that our local broadcasters actually rely on, and how that's going to have a domino effect on us, especially as, the weather intensifies when it comes to um, wh whether that's tornadoes, hurricanes,
Hurricanes, hail,
floods. Yeah.
all the spring stuff. Yeah.
And to tag on to what Nicole was saying, some people don't realize how rural our area is and don't realize how many people do not have internet access. It's not that they don't have it because they don't want it, it's because it doesn't reach them.
Mhm.
So they are very reliant on broadcast. And
My partner with another organization who happens to be a Marine vet himself,
Yeah.
lives right behind producers. I mean, that's Bryan. And he's got a few acres right there on next door to downtown Bryan, and there's only certain sections of his property that he can actually access the internet. He actually has to, whenever he needs to get on a Zoom call, he actually has to pack up his laptop,
And go
go
somewhere
hook up
else.
in his RV. Yeah,
Wow.
and smack dab in the middle of his property just to be able to maybe get a signal. Uh,
Right. Yeah.
stand under a certain tree.
And go like this, right? Like,
Can you hear me now?
right. I remember those days with the rabbit ears on the TV and trying to,
and
oh yeah.
dial up that wonderful nasty noise that it would
Oh
always make.
yeah, that was terrible. I saw this is totally unrelated, but one of those things that Gen X is the last generation to know, TV before remotes and before microwaves and before the internet and before cell phones and before like all these things, all these modern conveniences. And the world is definitely a different place now than it was when we were little.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'm excited to come and see you on the 24th and learn all about health and insurance this is like Brazos Valley or Bryan College.
Right.
Well, yeah, Brazos Valley
Yeah,
Alliance.
no, again, going back to our rural neighbors, I have some colleagues and comrades in Hearn
Oh
and
yeah. Yeah.
Bedias that I've invited to this as well. So
Yeah.
if you want
Well,
to
I know
make the drive, you're more than welcome.
there's a low spot between here and Navasota where you can't hardly get cell phone reception. It's like, there are just areas everywhere. And, working in real estate, people always ask, was the internet going to be okay out here? Because I have to have internet because a lot of people are working from home now, right? So
Yeah.
Right.
that prevents them from buying in an area if they cannot get access to it. So it's an issue. And
It's
then
a
there's part of the
50-50 win or
population
no.
who just doesn't do computers and doesn't care about having internet. You know what I mean? Oh, there goes the light. Just finally died.
Well, thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm excited to learn about what you guys are doing, and yeah, we'll have to kind of do these calls before you have your events so we can get the word out. I'm happy to help.
Oh, I would be delighted with that. Thank you. Yeah,
I want to
no.
put it out on the podcast and let all the veterans know, 'cause since there's so many of those here in our area, but it does go out just to the general public. So,
Well, and that's just it, is, I mean, I am kind of on another mission to reach these veterans through the other project that I'm doing with Soldier Songs and Voices. So, if we can form that relationship and build that bridge between the communities, I think it would be so beneficial.
no, absolutely. Absolutely. Keep me posted on your events on that as well. So,
Okay, can do.
yeah.
Okay.
All
Take
right,
care.
thanks, Sherry.
Take care. We'll see you the 24th.
See you
Yep.
then. You have a good one.
You too.